Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Crystal and this is my social thread. So today I have another interview for you. It's with the lovely Dawn of Mimi and B Fabrics. Mimi and B Fabrics was also one of our sponsors for the recent Selfless Sew April 22 challenge, so thank you very much for that, Dawn. This is a lovely interview. Dawn was so nice, and we also had a special appearance from her hubby Andrew, which is also very nice, and I hope you do enjoy the interview. If you watch it to the end, there is also a discount code for you to spend 10% off to spend on her lovely store. Thank you for watching. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, my social thread. So today we're joined by Dawn of Mimi and B Fabrics. Hello Dawn, thank you for joining
us. Hi, it's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, same to you. So as you know, this is a sewing vlog. So my first question to you is, how and when did you start sewing?
It's quite boring, really. I started when I was very young. Made all my there was Cindy then, I think they're now Barbies, but I made their clothes and I used to sew them by hand.
Wow.
And then when I had my daughter, you know, sometimes you feel like you've lost yourself a little bit. And I said to my mother-in-law, I either wanted to do English A-level or sewing. I said, oh, do sewing, because no, that's much more practical and you'll love it. So I had 6 lessons and then that was it. I was off.
That's amazing. Did you say that was an A-level in sewing or just sewing in general?
No, it was just a general sewing class that I did. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Lovely. And how did sort of that love of sewing then translate into let's open a fabric shop?
It was quite gradual, really. I left work. I was sewing while I was at work, and I had a little side business, and then it wasn't the fabric. It was I used to make skirts, vintage style skirts. I made 1950s style circle skirts, and then it progressed to which were my best sellers, which were tartan maxi skirts, but they were circle skirts still, but they had pleats in. So they were my best sellers. So I did that for a while, and then
your own website. Was that on Etsy or did you have your own?
It was on Etsy, and it just has progressed from there, really, because obviously, to make any money selling clothes, you eventually get to a point where you need to get them trade. And I was fortunate enough for one of them to let me in the door, as it were. And it was just gradual, really. It wasn't one day that I decided, oh, this is what I'm going to do, until just before lockdown. It was
say that, but
yeah, it was in the February before lockdown that I decided that's what I was going to do.
Wow.
But oh, sorry. But it's been happening gradually.
How did you just sort of buy like 10 bolts, or did you start off with, how did you start off?
I think, if I remember rightly, I think I had some Peter Rabbit fabric and I thought, oh, I'll put that on. And I did, and it sold. And then, I don't know, I think I probably got the bug, because to be honest, I really do enjoy buying fabric. I probably enjoy the sensation of buying fabric more than I do actually sewing, which is a terrible admission, but it's true.
That's good. That's good. And how did you come up with a name, Mimi and B? What does that mean?
Well, my granddaughter's called Amelia, and ever since she was little, she's always been called Mimi. And my other granddaughter is called Isabella, and we used to call her B sometimes. And also the B is it's a symbol of Manchester, where I live. The actual B. We call it Manchester B, and so it sort of fitted, really, the name.
That's lovely. So the shop is like an ode to your grandchildren and Manchester.
And where I live, yeah. Yeah.
And I love your website, by the way, just the colour and the logo, and also the little bee that appears when you're like loading your pages. That's really, really adorable, I think. So well done for that.
Well, that's all down to my son. I had nothing to do with that. My son did it all.
Now, does he do that for a living, or is it?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. But yeah, it was it was quite a lot for him to do, but he did it for me. Yeah.
It's great. And I think also when the website is sort of really sort of crisp and professional looking and the photography is really on point, it just makes you just the shopping experience is just so much nicer, isn't it? Just to, you know, have
Yeah,
it beautifully laid out and
definitely, definitely.
fabrics, and you know, hopefully your customers will care enough to purchase from you as well, because they are beautifully all laid out nicely. And where are you based? You said Manchester, and do you have a
Yeah.
physical store, or is it just online?
We're a bit of a hybrid really, because we are not a shop. It is actually a unit, but we do have a public liability insurance. So if anybody is in the Manchester area and wants to visit us, they can do. They just need to ring ahead. But yeah, absolutely fine for people to visit us. But we are online as well, obviously.
Oh, that's great. So at
Yeah.
the end of our conversation, I will put a link in the description. If you give us sort of the times and things for when people can phone in, sort of, yeah, that would be great, because I think the
Yeah.
locals would love to visit you. Because yeah, why wouldn't you want to visit a lovely fabric shop? So who runs the shop? Do you have any staff?
I do, and my daughter-in-law Lizzie.
Oh, hello. And it's two of
Yeah.
you doing everything.
I'm sorry?
And it's just two of you doing everything.
Just two of us.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Must
Yeah.
be pretty well then, obviously.
Yeah.
And does she enjoy fabric as much as you do?
She does. That's one of the things I like about it, is that she gets as excited about opening the boxes as I do. We're like I don't know. It's just it for us, it's like opening a present, because um when you order the fabric, most places that you get it from, you've ordered it like 6 months ago. And so you've completely forgotten what's in the box. So when you open it, it's so exciting. You're like, oh, it's this. So we love it.
For the most part, when you open up your boxes, are the fabrics nicer in real life, or sort of the same, or have you ever gotten anything where you think, oh, that wasn't as nice as I saw online? Or
I've only really had one fabric that I didn't like when it came. You just came and was like, why did he order this? But in the main, no.
has it sold, that fabric, or is it still online?
No, it hasn't. So just a little bit. At the point where you thought, you know what, we're just going to get rid of this. Somebody bought a bit. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because obviously it would embarrass whoever bought it. But
Oh. And what sort of where are your suppliers? Who do you buy from? Are they local? Are they international?
most of them are in the UK, but we do have a couple of suppliers in Europe as well.
And how does your buying work? Do you get like a catalogue, or do you go visit the stores?
Well, the ones that we have in the UK, mostly the reps come to see us, so you get to choose, which is great. So we've got a big cutting table here, and we have all the pictures out of everything, and you get to choose what you want to buy, which is a bit like a child in a candy shop, to be fair.
But that's exciting. How often do you get the reps in then?
Um, Different companies are different, but some of them are every 6 months, and some are every three to 4 months.
And how long does that take? Is it like a whole day thing where you just like look
It,
over fabric?
it's about half a day. I do feel sorry for whoever comes here, actually, because we do pour over them for quite a while. Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. And what sort of fabrics do you sell? What are you best known for, or do you sell a bit of everything? Or
Um, I've always been a cotton queen myself, and I just love cotton. And so we've got a lot of quilting cotton. We have some jersey and a few other fabrics. We do need to expand a little bit into other areas, but we do have a lot of quilting cotton.
lovely. Now, quilting cottons, I think the prints are lovely. The colours are so vibrant, aren't they? They're so lovely to
Yeah,
work.
they're lovely. Yeah, they really are. And they're so easy to sew with as well, even if you've not really sewn before,
Definitely,
you can't go wrong with cotton for your first project.
Are you a quilter as well, Dawn, or do you stick to dressmaking?
I-
Or
I'm a dressmaker. Yes. Yeah, a dressmaker who's very intrigued by the quilting. So I think that might be the next stage, especially since the type of fabric that we have. I'll be honest, I've had very little experience of quilting, really.
I have actually just started quilting because my 11-year-old and my 7-year-old really wanted to get involved with the sewing. And I just thought, you know, a dress was just too much. And I just thought quilting, and there's a subscription box that we subscribe to. And it's actually really, really fun. You have to be really accurate and precise. But
Yeah,
cutting out stage, then after that, it's actually really, really fun. So I do definitely recommend it. And you do,
children like that, don't they?
they do.
Children love that. Yeah,
Yeah, because it's sort of little bits at a time, and you sort of end up with a lovely block with all their, you know, fabric that they've chosen. They really, really do enjoy it, and I've been enjoying sort of helping them out. So I'm definitely pro quilting, but I am mainly a dressmaker as well. To be fair, can I ask, when you were growing up, did you always think you'd have your own business? Does running a business run in your family, or?
and I never thought that I would. My husband has his own business. I never really thought about it until I don't know, even when I was doing the skirts at first, I thought of it as a hobby, really. And then it sort of took off. So I never really thought that that would happen. No, because I've always been in employment up till a few years ago. Yeah.
And talking about that, what's your previous career, or what did you used to do before you opened up the shop?
I was a medical secretary and I worked in A&E.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's interesting. Very different, isn't it?
it was very different. It has taught me to juggle lots of things at the same time, though, because that was the sort of job where you had to pick something up and as you know, straight away you'd have to move on to something else and something else and something else because of the type of job it was. And so in a way that has prepared me for this job, because it is a lot more to it than you think, really.
And I can imagine running your own business, you're sort of your own accountant, your own front of house, your own everything, isn't it? So
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
welcome when you put your lovely Lizzie as well to help you out. Is it
yeah,
is
yeah.
her name right?
Lizzie, yeah.
So when do you get time to sew, Dawn? Do you sew in the evenings or?
I've not really had a lot of time to sew recently. I did. We got some really nice fabric just recently, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll make a little girl's dress, and I got about halfway through it, and it's really bad because I started to do the videos and showing everybody what I was doing, and then they just suddenly stopped because it's sort of halfway through. So I think it will come though, because I think we've done a lot of the hard work setting up Mimi and B now. So I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit more time. So I'm looking forward to it actually. For a while I think I'd my sewing mojo disappeared for a while, I think, while we were setting up the business, but it is coming back. So
It does happen, doesn't it? Sometimes you lose your
mm,
sewing mojo.
yeah,
In the
yeah.
past, where you have been sewing, do you have like a favorite make that springs to mind at all?
I think the tartan maxi skirts are my favorite thing. And the most difficult and challenging thing that I've made is working with chiffon, which
I've never tried it, so
it's not my favorite fabric.
yeah.
It's a beast, but it was really nice. The feeling of actually conquered it and and produced something that looked nice was really, you know,
It's good when you.
really nice.
Did you revisit chiffon again, or not really?
I'd need a long break. Yeah.
Yeah. The next question is, you probably already answered this, but what's your favorite fabric base for yourself personally, not for the shop, but for yourself?
Yeah, it is cotton.
Still,
Yeah, it always has been.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
good. And your least favorite fabric base, do you think? Chiffon.
Chiffon, definitely chiffon. Oh, and I'm not too happy with wool either. Remember when my daughter was young, I thought that I would make her this wool coat. Oh, got that mad, I threw it in a bag. I don't think it ever came out again.
Was it the sewing, or was it the preparing it, or what was it?
I think when I look back, I think the sewing machine that I had at the time couldn't handle the fabric, I think, probably. Yeah, it just didn't like it at all, and it snarled everything up. But it's funny though, once you get put off a fabric, it's a long time before you go back, isn't it?
That is true. That is true. So you'll have to revisit wool and chiffon together.
Yeah.
Right. And what sort of prints are you drawn to for yourself personally?
I have to say that I really, really like, and as Beth and Janine, she does the most gorgeous animal prints for Dashwood Studio, and every time a collection comes out, I'm just like, oh, yeah.
Oh wow, yeah. Do you have any in your shop at the moment?
I do, yes, yeah,
Oh,
we do.
maybe perhaps you could give us a whiz later on and show us a couple of those prints. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite print? What do you try to avoid?
Well, we do have floral in, but I'm not big on florals myself. But I think that's why it's good to have two people, because Lizzie and I've got different tastes. For example, that if there's anything yellow in the shop, that'll be Lizzie, because because I am not a fan of yellow. But this complexion, it doesn't really go. So so I think that's a good thing, that you get that balance, because
Yeah.
you know somebody else will like different to you, and we bring different things to the shop, really.
Well, I found with the previous sort of bloggers and shop owners that I've interviewed, everyone seems to like florals. So it's nice to know that you, I mean, don't like florals. I mean, everybody has their own different tastes, isn't it? So what are
Yeah.
you attracted to if it's not florals? Is it just prints of some sort?
I don't know. I think it's one of those things I couldn't say definitely. It's just a gut feeling, and I tend to buy by that as well. I tend to buy what I like when I see it, and Lizzie does as well. She adds what she likes to it, you know. So so the shop is very us, you know. It's very much what we like in the shop, which is may not be the best way to go about it. I don't know, but
Website, and the prints there are lovely. It's just pretty. The pretty prints, aren't they? They're really, really
yeah,
nice.
yeah, we do like pretty things.
Does anybody
Yeah.
inspire you in the sewing world, sort of on Instagram or blogs that you watch or read?
Janet Prey. She is such a down-to-earth lady. If you've ever watched her videos, she doesn't muck about. She just like, this is how it is, and I'll show you how to make it easier. And she's the person who taught me the burrito method, which was like it was basically a game changer for me, you know, when I was making skirts, you know, to learn that technique. So I find her quite inspiring. I think she's on is it Craftsy, isn't it? My husband there.
From you, and I will add that down to the description below, because I've not heard of her, and it's nice to know that you are inspired by her. Maybe other people would like to watch her and be inspired as well.
Yeah.
Can I ask, do you have a personal stash yourself, or is your shop your personal stash?
My husband's over there laughing. Well, I have to say it's slightly more smaller than it was, because it's not agreeing.
Let's get your husband on, Dawn. Let's get your husband on.
She said she wants to see you now.
Oh, no.
Hi.
Hiya.
How
Hey,
are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, you?
So please do tell our viewers how big your wife's stash is, fabric stash.
Massive.
Dawn, you said it was small.
She's talking about the fabric that she's got at home. There isn't that much at home anymore.
No,
But
I
there's
have
tons of it here.
I have actually parted with some of them. I have.
Oh, no, I believe
Have
you,
you?
Dawn.
Yeah. Go on, you naughty you. Go, getting me in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I did actually get. You know, I had to smile because a blog that I just saw just recently was from Tilly and the Buttons, and she was talking about destashing. I had to smile because I have started it. Um, um, we have this room that we're in now, and we have a cupboard as well, and my stash is in there at the moment. I am slowly working through it, so there are a few bargains to be had every now and again when I put them on to get rid of them. But I think
Go on,
anybody who sews is probably as bad as me, I should think.
yeah. I mean, my budget is probably much smaller than your budget, but I do need to de-stash as well. I think sometimes we just get so, when we see fabric, we just love it so much, we just need to buy it. And then maybe if it comes in another colorway, you buy that as well. And then it
Yeah.
ends up in your stash for you to look at adore, but then you get distracted by the next fabric or the next pattern. And
Yeah.
so I'm kind of on a mission to, it's probably going to be very hard, but just to buy for a project that I'm going to do next.
Exactly.
Because I think otherwise, I mean, it's a lot of money. Sewing isn't a cheap hobby, is it, at all?
No, not at all.
In my room right now, just a lot of money, and I have lots of children that I could, spend the money on, but instead it's in my fabric. But yeah, de-stash I think is good. Maybe once a year, once every 2 years, we should all maybe have like a small de-stash. I think that makes perfect sense.
I know what
go on.
Sorry. I know what she was saying. She was saying that not fabrics don't always stay in style. I mean, they're not as bad as fashion, but they do have a style. So if you look at your stash and if it's a little bit out of fashion, then maybe you should just get rid. That was one of the things she was saying.
I agree. Just going back quickly to your fabric stash, what's the most expensive piece of fabric you've bought, do you think?
I tried to think about this, and I don't really know. I don't think, because I buy a lot of cotton and I am attracted to that. I don't think it's particularly an expensive thing to buy in the scale of things. So I suppose I have had a few over the years, but I can't think specifically of anything.
Yeah, and I guess even sort of how much is sort of the upper limit for like a designer cotton, for example?
Well, the ones that I've got, I would say that there isn't anything more than about £16 a meter, I think, of the ones that we have. But obviously, I'm aware that there are some that are way past that.
Yeah. And I was just wondering, Dawn, I know you are really busy with your shop and everything, but do you have time for any other hobbies at all?
I do crochet as well. And I'm a terrible knitter. I've never ever managed to conquer knitting, so that's maybe something for one day.
Knitting, and wool.
Yes.
You come up with a garment that uses all three of those, extra bonus points.
Yeah.
Have you learned anything recently with regards to sewing? I guess you've not done much sewing, I suppose.
No.
When did you learn the burrito method? Was that a while ago?
It was a few years ago. Yeah.
But something like the burrito method, once you've seen it, it's just really amazing, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it?
And you don't think it's going to turn out until it turns out. And you think, how did that happen?
Yeah. It's really clever, isn't it? I think it's really clever.
Oh, I quite like Lisa Comfort Sew Over It. She has loads of tutorials on there. But the other day she was doing like what is it, like a lining for a bodice, but enclosing all of the seams, and that was just really, really clever, the things she was coming up with and showing us. And I just think, tips like that are things that you need in your sewing sort of stash, as it were.
Yeah.
So, Dawn, what does sewing mean to you? Or in your case, opening this fabric store, which is kind of sewing.
Yeah. Well, when I was younger, I didn't really realize that I was a creative person because creative to me meant somebody who could draw, you know, not I didn't think of sewing as being creative, but I have discovered that I am a creative person, and I think it's an outlet for that really, sewing, because you know, stickman is my limit for drawing. Drawing is not my creative side at all. But you know, I have realized I'm a creative person, and that I think that comes out in the sewing, and I do, you know, really enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's amazing sewing. I think just from the pattern buying and then the fabric buying and then putting the two together, putting your own personality into it. I think it's
Yeah.
definitely creative, and it's just like such a wonderful hobby.
Mm,
And I think since I started, the sewing community as well is just so lovely, isn't it? Like, you know,
yeah.
Instagram, blogs, and now me myself meeting all these fabric owners like yourself. I just think it's really, really amazing. And what I found with my viewers, they actually really enjoy seeing these interviews because they like to see the people behind the shops, which I think is,
Yeah,
it's odd, but I think people like to buy more from a shop when they know who's behind it, like if it's family run, or
absolutely.
for example yourself, oh, Dawn's really, really lovely, let's look at her shop first before we go anywhere else, kind of thing. And I think that's
Mm,
really quite nice, especially small independent businesses, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I think especially now, like after lockdown, I mean, we've all suffered in some small or big way, haven't we, with sort of detachment from society, really, because everybody was shut in the house for months, you know. So I think customer service and that face to face with people is even more important than it ever was, really.
Definitely, yeah. Although,
Yeah,
funnily enough, sewing for me during lockdown was great because you're stuck at home. You have more time to sew, I suppose, the sewing room. So that's, anyway, that's just my
well, my
take.
husband learned to sew during lockdown.
Oh wow, what has he made?
Well, he's made shorts.
Wow.
He's made some shirts. Oh, actually, the funniest thing, shall I tell her?
God.
You actually know, aren't you?
So I'd said about this pattern that I'd wanted to make, and I'm trying to think what happened now. Yeah, it was a wrap. And I said, I've wanted this wrap for ages. My husband said, I'll make it for you. It was all in one piece. It should have been really easy, which it was. You did manage it, didn't you? Wasn't that? But then you decided to make me some matching shorts, right? And I got the wrap and I tried it on, and I put the shorts on, and my husband noticed it. He'd actually cut the shorts out of the wrap. Part of the shorts, he cut out the wrap he made me. He hadn't He thought it
Oh,
was a scrap of fabric. So when I put this wrap on, it had like a pair of shorts shaped out of it.
oh, well, A for effort and A for getting out there and sewing. That's amazing. That's
Yeah, yeah.
So once I've got you, Dawn, your fabric is looking really lovely there. Do you mind giving us a quick tour of what you've got there behind you?
Sure, yeah, yeah. Um,
So what is this? All quilting cotton behind you.
so yeah, with all these along the top, which I'll try and show you. So all these along the top, we have we have here. And then the next level down we have fabrics. I don't know if you can see that.
I can't hear you very well, Dawn, unfortunately.
All right, it's because
Oh, yeah,
I'm
now I can. Yeah, go on.
yeah, it's about my microphone. Sorry. Oh,
Lovely fabrics there. Amazing. All quilting cotton. I'm guessing that yellow shelf was ordered by your daughter-in-law, Lizzie.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I have actually got a microphone, but we left it at home. Otherwise, you would have been because you could have heard me then.
Oh, don't worry about it. Thank you so much for your time. I was wondering if perhaps you were able to give our viewers a cheeky discount from your store at all.
Yeah, so I've decided to make it really simple because I hate it when somebody gives you a code and it's like you can't remember it. So I've said so one.
Lovely, excellent.
Just the word so one. So in capitals, so one.
Excellent.
And that will get you 10% discount in the shop.
Lovely, thank you so much. And also thank you for being one of our sponsors for Selfless Serve April. The winner of your prize is super excited to get shopping because I believe you gave away £25, was it?
Yes.
So thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
In the meantime, to all our viewers, please check out Dawn on Instagram. It's Mimi and B Fabric. Also their website, I will leave all their details below. And as you know, we have that 10% discount as well. So please do visit her website when you can. Dawn, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.